while I'm at it, so if I know this angle of this arc from here to here is 112, note halfway around the circle is 180. So what I would do is just take 180 again, subtract 112. And if I took 180, subtract 112 again, that's 68 degrees. So the arc from here to here is also 68 degrees. Okay, how does that help? And again, that's across the central angle. Okay. How could I find A? Well, if, let's see, C is at 68 degrees. You've got a triangle here. You've got two radii, right? So this side and this side are both radii, and they are congruent, which makes this a what type of triangle? Starts with the I. You thought about it, and you guessed it. It's an isosceles. So the top angle is 68 degrees. If I want to know this angle, which would be A, and the angle over here, those are the base angles. Those are your feet. They're the same measure. Remember, we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so let's take 180, subtract the 68. We're back to 112. Let's divide it by 2, and that would give us 56. So we know our base angles down here would be 56 and 56, which means A should be 56. So I look down here, oh, boom, shakalak, it is it. All right, last one we have to do is find D. Okay, so again, what I would do personally is this. Again, I'm going to look at that ice cream cone that relates to D, so I'm going to look at the big one. Now I'm going to look at like, well, it actually doesn't matter. You can look at this big ice cream cone and figure it out that way. There's also a little skinny ice cream cone right here. It's kind of neat. Okay, so here's your little skinny cone, and here's your ice cream at the top. Okay, so again, we already know the ice cream up here was 68 degrees. Remember, the ice cream is double the cone. So if the ice cream's double, we're going to take half to get the cone in this case. And what's half of 68, you might ask? Well, that is 34. 34. If I look down here, did they give me 34? No, they said it's 35, so that one we're not going to select, unfortunately. All right, number 6, good stuff. Diagram ABC is inscribed in circle D. The measure of CBD is 38 degrees. So CBD, okay, this angle right here is 38 degrees. Find the measure of BAC. BAC, okay, so what's this? Okay, again, use your triangles knowledge. Right, so again, if D is the center, that makes this a radius and a radius, which means, again, it's what type of triangle? You guessed it, it's an isosceles. Okay, so below your legs, below your legs are your feet, and your feet are the same size, which means these angles down here are the exact same angle, so this would also be 38. Okay, and we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle, so let's add 38 to 38, and we get something like 76. Let's subtract that from 180 degrees in a triangle, and we get something like 104. Bless you. So what we're going to do with the 104, well, that goes right in here. 104 degrees. 104. Okay, and that's a central angle, so we don't double it. We don't take half of it. It's the exact same angle as out here. From B to C, it's 104 degrees. Well, cool. But they want to know the cone. Like, you guys see the ice cream yet? I mean, I love this ice cream cone. It's just fabulous. Okay, so here's my ice cream cone. There's the cone in pink. Ice cream is on the top. So again, the ice cream is double the cone. So if I take half of 104, that is 52 degrees. So the cone would be 52, ice cream is 104. What do they want to know? BAC. So BAC right there, and that angle there is 52 degrees. Done. Yummy. That's what I say to that. Numero 7, number 7. Find the measure of arc AB in the diagram below. Okay, so just use a little logic here. They came up with all these cool formulas and good theorems and all this good stuff, but here essentially is this. This is the center of the circle. It's perpendicular to this chord and perpendicular to this chord. They're the same length of chord. They say the arc from D to C is 98 degrees. So would you just give me a good guess of what the angle measure of arc AB would be? You guessed it, 98 degrees. Easiest question on the whole test, guys. All right, number 8. Given the following diagram, answer the following questions below. Okay, so they give you all the arc degrees, right? Great. And they want to know what's the value of X and some other stuff. Okay, so again, how many degrees are in a circle? 360. goes to the same from the outskirts, so you're just gonna have to add all these up together, so I'm equal to 360. So I'll come over here and do that. 7x plus 13 plus 5x plus 10x minus 5 equals 360. All right, so I'm gonna combine some like terms here. 7x plus 5x plus 10x is 22x. 13 minus 5 is positive 8. I'm sorry. And we do some little math here. Got to get my numbers on one side, so I'm going to subtract 8. I get 352. I'm going to divide by the number with the x. Do a little bit of math here. That gets you 16. So x is 16. Cool. So come back over here. X is equal to 16. Great. Then they ask you a few more questions. What's the measure of PQ? Okay, so from P to Q, well, that's simple, guys. Just plug in 16 for x, so 7 times 16 plus 13 gives you a really cool value of 125. And then they ask PQR is what type of triangle? Equilateral, isosceles, or scaling. Remember, equilateral, all sides, angles are congruent. Isosceles, you just got 2 sides and 2 angles congruent. Scaling, you got something where all sides are different. Okay. All right, so if I figured this part out, right? This arc is 125. You're just going to have to plug 16 back in for all your x's. So, you know, 5 times 16, that's 80. And over down here, you got 10 times 16 minus 5. That gets you 155. Okay, so if you look at and you compare all your angles, man, they are all different. So if they're all different, at that point, you can go ahead and tell me if that's a scaling triangle. Not bad, not bad. Okay, and we're rolling. Oh, this is just good stuff, guys. This is all about ice cream. I mean, it's all about ice cream. Cones, yes. Find the measure of angles and arcs identified below. Okay, so the first one, again, you got a cone here. They give you the ice cream. The ice cream is 75. That's the bigger number, so if I want the cone, we know it's going to be smaller, so take half. Half of 75, half of 75 is 37.5. Easy as that, 37.5. All right, B, rolling on, next one. All right, okay, so they don't give you the cone or the ice cream. However, they give you some information here. They give the rest of the circle, right? So if you added 184, that's 184. And then, how does that help you? Well, you know there's 360 degrees in a circle, so if I take 360 and subtract 184, you know, that gives me 176. So I know C itself is 176. Well, cool. I can go ahead and put that over here, 176. But then how do I get B? Well, think, y'all, this is your ice cream. And the cone is down there. That's where the B is. So let's just take half of 176. So half of 176 ends up being 88. All right, so 88 goes over here for B. Oh, you can't see it. There it is. Right, this is great. Good stuff. Okay, last one over here. Oh, 2 more, just kidding. Okay, so again, we know the 90 little box right here means 90. This is a central angle, so don't double it or half it, nothing. It's the exact same thing right here. So D is 90 degrees also. Boom, easy. Okay, so then over here, again, all about your ice cream, kids. You know, so they give you 56. Just be careful. They're talking about the cone right there. In order to find F, you're going to use that piece of information. So this is the cone. The ice cream would be right here. So this is your cone. We double 56 to get the ice cream. So if you double 56 to get the ice cream, that's going to be, what, 112. And then if you want F, you could just, you know, add 112 to 101, which is what they gave you over there. Something like that, 213. Okay, and then we're just going to take 360 and we're going to subtract 213. And if you do that, then you're going to get something like 147 for F. So if I come back up here, F is 147 degrees. Sweet. Whatever. Come over here, 147. I'm having to hold my phone to make this video, so my apologies if you're going to have to pause it and whatever. A lot of times, no big deal. Okay, 10. JK, KL, and LJ are all tangent to circle O. Okay, cool. Tangent. So remember, tangent just means you only hit the circle once. So if they say JA is 12, so from J to A, that's 12. A to L over here is 17. And then L to K, so this whole distance from L all the way to K is 28. Okay, find the perimeter of JKL. So JKL, they want the perimeter, the whole distance around this triangle. I mean, so you know what, go ahead and add 12 and 17 to 28. That's 2/3 of your triangle. You still got to figure out this part. Well, if you remember what they talked about, tangent. So if A, right here at this point, this is tangent, and B is tangent, and we meet at a point here, these two distances are going to be the same. So if this is 12, over here is also 12. Okay, so over here, A to L is 17. So I know they gave you the whole distance from L to K, but L to C is also 17. So the mystery piece is right down here, right? So what are these two? So I know the distance from L to K is 28. Subtract 28 minus 17. All right, 28 minus 17 is 11. So distance from here to here is 11, which means this distance is the same as this distance, 11. And now you're good to go. If you add all these up, we should find out that once you add all this up, it's equal to 80. Alrighty. Una más. One more. Okay. Oh, this is some good stuff here. Right, so look, you got some different variables. I'm going to connect some lines here. Yeah. Okay, so it says find the values of x and y. So like the first lesson in this whole section, they talked about the fact that if a quadrilateral is inside the circle, the opposite angles are supplementary, meaning they add a 180, right? So these two things right here add a 180. Also, this guy right here will also add to this guy and equal 180. Well, I'm not going to start off with the equation with the x and y. I'm going to start off with a 1, which is one variable, which would be these guys. So the way we set this up is you're going to go 5x minus 5 plus 120 is equal to 180. All right, so note, don't set them equal. They're not equal. You set them all, and you add them, set them equal to 180. So here we go. All right, just do a little solving. If I combine like terms, 120 minus 5 is 115. Subtract 115 over. Oh, man, my mental math is not as great as it used to be, but get something like 65 when you subtract and divide by 5 both sides. We'll see, 13, something like that. All right, so 65 divided by 5, yes, 13. Yeah, so if I come over here, x is equal to 13. Cool, partially done. Now what do I do? Well, again, these two right here still add to be 180, but now we know x. So go ahead and plug in 13 for x. So let's go ahead and figure out what's 5 times 13. Well, 5 times 13 is 65. So this whole expression right here would be 65 plus 5y. And now you just have one variable and a 70. So we're going to take this guy, add it to 70, set equal to 180. So down here, I'm going to go 65 plus 5y plus 70 is equal to 180. And then we solve, right? So, you know, you can combine some like terms here. We get plus 1. Oh, I think that, yeah, that's 135. 180, subtract 135. We do some subtraction. Okay, something like this. Divide by 5. Okay, and y is equal to 9. So coming over here. And if we wanted to double check to make sure that we did our math right, you can always plug it back in, right? So if I plug 9 in here, 5 times 9 is 45. 45 plus 65 is 110. And 110 plus 70 is 180. So I know I did that right. Same thing with that, or on these two right here, opposite, right? So if I plug 13 in for x, we know 5 times 13, 65, minus 5 is 60, and 60 plus 120 is 180 again. Whew, all done. All right. Hopefully you guys are doing okay.